place I've come to know well, led by a man named Sty. He's full of stories, he is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy.
Now you can hear me. Sorry about that. Yeah, I had my mic muted during the intro. Didn't realize it. So here we are. Happy Sunday, everybody. Sunday afternoon. It's great to see y'all. I see we got some folks over there in the chat. I'm going to shout out all those folks in the chat real quick. Old Country Homesteading, Alexander, he showed up right away. Yeah, he wants to touch base. I'll tell you what, Alexander, I got running water home from on the road this week. When he heads back out, I'll get a hold of you. And we'll have a chat. We'll have a private chat. Sounds fun to me. And there's me, Dibble. Not sure if he can make the stream or not, but he's going to try. That's great. And there's Laurie Sheba B. Great to see ya. And Metal Music right away. Today's menu is pizza with sausage, pepperoni, bacon, cheese, and additional 14 slices of cheese following an afternoon nap on the chair. I tell you what, no kidding, man. If I could get down a pizza like that, I'd go for it. I could eat a piece, maybe two. Sty's eating pretty good lately, yeah. And here we go. Hey, farming, outdoors, and camping. I just went over to your channel, Farming, and I love it. I'll be getting over there, watching some of your videos. I'll drop a hello on a couple of them, and so that you know I'm watching. And thank you for stopping in. It's great. So, folks, check them out. Farming, outdoors, and camping. And then there's Sweet Gemma, sweetie, hello. Hey, there's John from Adventures in the Heartland. It is good to see you, brother. Oh, yes, very good. That makes Sty happy, you betcha. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, here's Dr. Smith. Hey, there's Sty North. Yeah, hey there, Dr. Smith. How's it all going for you? I hope it's going well. Old Country. Yeah. It'll be fun to get together. I want to do it when I got some time and we can just chat, Yeah. Oh, I love you too there, Gemma. You're always a sweetheart. Yeah. Hey, Gemma, you want me to send you a link? I'll take a quick pop over here to my Facebook and I'll send you the link. If you get the inkling to come up, I don't know what's going on. There you are. I was going to say, I don't know what's going on. Why the heck? Where are you on my list? There you are. Uh, um, I'm a little, I'm a little studio illiterate. It's been about a week. It's been almost a full week since I've been in the studio. With running water home, we've been kind of messing off, scoofing around, and it's been kind of fun. We've both been playing a PlayStation game, and the last 48 hours we've just been grinding, both of us. We both have our big screen TVs here in our living room and our own PlayStation systems, but we're playing the same game, doing different things, but playing the same game. It's Conan Exiles, and we're having a good time with it. Hey, Bradley Whitworth, awesome! What's up, buddy? Well, it's Sunday, and I told you guys you'll see me every Sunday. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm going to do a Sunday show no matter what. You betcha. Um, I'll give you guys a little update. The cancer update thing. Um, look at there. James Skype guy, thumbs up. Yep, give me a thumbs up, guys. Hey, share this out, folks. And, I'm going to throw that up here just to remind people. Hey, there you go. Share it out. Let people know about the Sty Shack on your social media. Anything that you use out there, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Share it out. Share it out. And get folks to come on over, hang out for a while. Yeah, on a Sunday afternoon. Oh, there's Mystic Bunny. It's so good to see ya. Oh, yes. Adventures in our life. John, already done. Oh, look at here. I got her now. There she is. Hi, girlie.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, just another Sunday.
Yep, a beautiful Sunday at that.
Yeah, it's a nice one here. Yesterday we had rain all day. It was miserable, icky, misty air all the day. Just hard enough to get everything. It was only enough rain to get everything soaking wet,
Yeah, rain is typical here. We get it all the time. We're used to it.
It's funny because I told Running Water yesterday when we ran to the store, I go, yeah, welcome to London. Because it was kind of foggy and a mist and everything. I said, yeah.
Yeah, it's been really foggy here today for most of the day, so.
Hey, Roy and Becky, good to see you. Howdy. Everybody check out Roy and Becky's Travels. They got a great channel. Awesome channel. Dr. Smith shared us out. That's great of you, Dr. Smith. Thank you. Oh, boy. Mystic Bunny's making salsa. I tell you what.
How's everybody doing in the chat? I hope everyone's having a great Sunday today. I hope everyone's had a peaceful day.
Oh, wow. Bradley's. Yeah, that's good news. His mom's cancer treatments are working. Her 20% is down to 15%. Now we are scared because they are going to shut down the cancer centers because of the hurricane on Tuesday. Well, that's a bummer. That's
not good.
No.
I hope you keep safe, though, Bradley. I hope you try and keep safe as you can.
Yeah, get through that hurricane, and our prayers are with your mom that everything goes okay,
Absolutely.
Hey,
Bradley.
Farman, it is so kind of you to be here. Thank you for being here. I told everybody, check your channel out, by the way.
Hey, Farman, Sheba, Roy, and Becky. Good to see you. Please smash the like button if you haven't and share Sty North stream out. It would mean the world to me and it would mean the world to him if you would share that out, please. And thank you. Use my manners.
Yeah. Lori Sheba be. I wouldn't complain before long. That rain is going to be snow. No kidding, girl. No kidding. I'm going out this week, get my snow blower all tuned up, ready to go, so that I can blow snow. Well, I was going to give everybody a quick update on the cancer thing. Tomorrow, I start my 1 year of chemotherapy, but that chemo ain't going to be so bad. It's only once every 2 weeks for 2 months, and then once a month for 10 months. And then I'm done. I'll never have to do any cancer treatments again. Um, Technically, right now, I'm cancer free. This is like a
Hey.
this is technically a preventative cancer treatment.
Oh,
So
okay.
to make sure it doesn't reoccur, doesn't come back. Um,
Yeah.
and it's got an 80% success rate of stopping it from coming back. So yeah, I told them let's do it. It's 1 day a month. What the heck? The But here's the great news: I don't tube feed anymore.
Yay!
Everything goes through the kisser, man. I eat last night. Yesterday I was eating all kinds of stuff. I've gotten hooked on these great big old muffins I get at the Quick Trip. They're 480 calories, one of the muffins,
Well,
but they're huge and they're great. And last night I sat and ate four good sized ham salad sandwiches and for dinner, and I
yeah.
I eat whatever I want. And but I eat all damn day long. Now, like I was telling Running Water, that's the only problem with the show is that's 2 hours that I'm not sitting there stuffing my face.
Yeah.
That because it takes a whole day for me to get up there, but I'm right around between 2,400 and 3,000 calories a day now orally. I just have to get my more fluids up. But
Yeah.
now I don't tube feed anymore. I'm not on that pump, that machine. That's all put away. I put that stuff away so I don't even look at it. But I still have the tube. So about 5 times a day, I still inject through that tube those big syringes of water. I want to keep my
Yeah.
hydration up. I want to keep the hydration up. But the tube comes out permanently on the 14th of October. So I only got a couple weeks down the road, and that tube is gone. So
Nice.
it may even be gone tomorrow, but I'm not sure if the doctor's going to want to do it tomorrow or not, because our appointment's supposed to be just short before I get my cancer treatment. So he may not want to go ahead and remove it tomorrow. I've got my
Let's hope
fingers
they can
crossed.
remove it earlier. That'd be a better thing to remove it now.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was gone now. I mean, I just want rid of it. I just want rid of it, and I'll
Understand that.
force myself to drink enough water. Yeah. Um,
Fluids is the most important thing, though. The more you keep flushing yourself out and drinking fluids, the more you're going to keep yourself hydrated. So that's the issue.
yeah, yeah.
I'm guilty of that. I don't drink enough fluids during the day, and people wonder why I have headaches and things. They're like, Gemma, you don't drink enough. We don't see you drinking any fluids. I'm like, I do have a drink next to me. I just don't tend to drink that much.
That's me. I've got the fluid sitting there. I got water.
Yeah,
I got cranberry juice. I'm
I've got my
drinking
flask
cranberry
bottle right
juice.
here. Just
Uh
I
huh.
haven't drunk most
I
of it.
just it sits there and I just don't drink it. I don't.
Yeah, I have to
It,
force myself. I'm like, okay, I may
yeah.
not be thirsty, but I'm just like taking little bits so I can at least know I've had something in my system.
Oh, you had prostate cancer. Oh, that. And so yeah, you just going by your PSA numbers to make sure the cancer stays away so far. There you go. Um, the Roy and Becky talking about Jan and John's salsa, and you're on your last jar of pickles.
Salsa's not really something I like, but yeah.
I've got one jar of pickles and one jar of salsa from them that's left yet, and I said I'm not dipping into those. I love them. I'm not dipping into those until I'm completely free of all this stuff. Then I'm going
Yeah.
to sit there and just enjoy it because I love their salsa. Just yeah,
I
that,
love pickles, but salsa not
that
so much.
the pickles. Yeah, I'm into pickles too. I like my pickles. Yeah.
I always put pickles in like my burgers and things. I like to eat them in like my burgers, and if I have like a chicken meal, or if I have like a chicken dish, I'll add pickles with it, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, farming. I've had relatives who've had cancer. I've had one relative who died of it. I've had two relatives who have overcome it the last couple of times, and cancer's not good for anybody.
No.
It's the impact. It's not just on them; it's on their families as well. So I've been there to witness how it affects everybody.
Me Dibble made it. Yeah, good
Hey,
to see
Sybil,
you,
what's
Me
up?
Dibble.
Hey, Mystic
Yeah.
Bunny, how are you?
But yeah, that's so true. Cancer is not a journey you want to go through. And I keep telling people, if you have the chance and the ability and you can have pre-screening done for cancers, the pre-screening's nothing. A little bit of blood work, just a physical exam usually. And if they can catch things early, they're a lot easier for them to deal with.
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
mine. I let it go so long. I kept denying that there was something wrong. And then by the time they found it, it was stage 3. And they
Oh,
literally told me, they said, you may only be stage 3. The reason you're stage 3 is we believe we have an answer to correct it. But if you don't do this, it's stage 4. They gave me 3 months. They told me that I'd be dead in 3 months. So I'd be dead right now. You'd be talking to a dead guy. I opted to go with what they recommended, and it was terrible. It's a terrible journey, I'm telling you. But today, I'm glad I took it. It was terrible. I'd never go through
hey,
it
Wanda.
again. But, hey, Wanda, Louisiana style.
The thing
Good
is,
to
people
see
don't
ya.
realize how much cancer affects people, and I've been there recently with my own members of my own family. My stepdad, for example, he's had 2 lots of cancer removed in the last 4 years, and it's horrible seeing him having the headaches, the sickness, the lack of appetite. It's horrible. And then seeing what my auntie went through with hers, she battled it 4 times in 12 years, and
Yeah.
it was horrendous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Both my sister and my brother passed away from cancers. And my sister, 11 years, she battled hers. I believe it was 11. Um, my brother, he he only battled his for about maybe 3 or 4 years, and he lost the battle with his. It was terrible for him. It was terrible. He went through some very major surgery. He lost about half of his face. They removed, and he ended up with melanoma all over, and the cancer went through his whole system. He ended up with it everywhere, and
Ouch.
but he got to one of his bucket list items. I gotta do before I die is go to Alaska, and sure enough, he had one spell there where he was feeling pretty good. He was feeling pretty good, and he rented a big motor home, and him and the family loaded up in it. And off he went up to Anchorage, Alaska, and drove all the way from Minnesota all the way to Anchorage, Alaska, and back. And he
Wow.
loved every bit of that trip, and that was good that he was able to get that done.
Yeah.
The,
A lot of people
yeah,
are a lot stronger than what you realize. I think a lot of people who battle cancer, especially you and other people that I've known of, it's the strength you have to survive it and the fight that you give it is that determines how people see you and how they see the label. People like to think the worst when they hear the big C word. They think, oh, it's automatic death. No, it's not. A lot of the
it's
time you
it
can be.
doesn't it doesn't have to be. In some cases, it's too late to do much, But but you know, it's another one of life's terrible things that happens, and you
Yeah.
just have to be stronger for it. Learn from it, be stronger for it. Um,
I think you're doing amazingly well, like considering how much you've battled through it, and
that
you've done better than a lot of people that I've known.
I, and I'm the first to admit, and I tell people all the time, man, for the first 2 weeks from the day of surgery the 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks, um, that's the weakest I've ever been. I mean, not just physically, I mean emotionally, mentally, everything. I
Yeah,
was
I'm not
I
surprised.
was at the end. I was at the end of my rope, and I wanted it to end that 2 weeks. So many times I just prayed, just let me die. Just I can't do this. It's too much. And I keep thinking back over the years and some of the crap I've had to live through and stuff. And I thought, man, all those events were nothing compared to this. This is the worst I've ever experienced in my whole life.
Yeah,
And yeah, yeah, oh yeah, the cancer people should be stronger and to have much patience. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
farming.
it
That's what my auntie was like. She was going through the most roughest time of her life. Like she was literally. I remember the last conversation she said to me. She goes, "You know what, Gemma? She went, I've had a good run. I've had a good life. I've lived my best time, and don't cry for me." And I said to her, "But it's not that easy." I said, "You
yeah,
got me going. Like, don't tell me I can't be upset." And she goes, Gemma, what's the point in crying? She went, I'm going to be out of pain. I'm going to be out of suffering. Would you rather me be suffering? I was like, well,
right,
no, obviously not. And I had to think of it that way. I'm like, well, she
right,
fought for 12 years and she gave it the best battle she could have done.
right.
So,
Well, and that's it. Is she if she hadn't fought for that 12 years, what would she have had? Maybe a year or two.
yeah, they
But
said
she
it's a
fought
year
for
to a year and
12.
a half.
She
So,
fought for 12. And that's it. Is I always hope that a person that's suffering from it will put up the fight right to the end. Where yeah, now the fight's got to end. I just can't win this. When you come to the realization you really can't win it, let that person come to that, and say themselves and say, I'm done. I can't fight this. Can't fight it anymore. I'm losing this one, but it was a good fight. It was a good fight to hear
yeah.
and let it go. And I'm a little yeah, farming smoking. I smoke like a chimney. It's one of my bad habits. Um, and then it doesn't help any when I had to go through full pulmonary exams and all these tests. Man, the pulmonary test drove me nuts. That's your breathing.
Yeah.
2.5 hours they put me through them tests. It was
Yeah,
insane. Sitting in this booth with this dang machine in front of you, and you're blowing and sucking and blowing and sucking on that thing, and then
yeah,
they have you going up and down these damn ladders or steps, just up and down, up and down, and then they put you back on that machine and see how you breathe, and then they do all these X-rays of you, MRIs, CAT scans, and crap of your lungs and your. Then same with the cardiologist, they had to check my heart out. Um, Everything came back 100%. They said no, he won't have any pulmonary breathing issues at all. His lungs are 100%. They said his heart is fine, fine. He'll survive the
it's probably
surgery.
because you're
His
so
heart,
active with being outside. You're always being outside and doing camping things and walking, and that's probably helped you in the long run.
yeah. Oh yeah, Roy, Roy and Becky. My biggest thing is getting burned out on Ensure protein drinks. Yeah, I've got the high protein Ensure here too. That's good. Little bottle, 160 calories. See, I need the calories. Is the problem. So I drink it to get that 160 calories out of a small bottle. That bottle's smaller than this. I don't know. It's like 8.5 ounces or something, but it's 160 calories. But it tastes lousy. Tastes terrible. I that Ensure is the nastiest stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
it
trying
gets
the energy drinks that my auntie was on when she had her cancer treatment. She went, Gemma, try this. And it was in a little
uh,
bottle with a straw. And she gave me the most tiniest little mouth. And I'm like, this is
yeah.
rank. It was awful.
Hey,
Hi, Kathy.
Kathy. Great to see ya. She's saying hi to both of us here.
Hi, hi.
Yeah, yeah, Ensure. But this gal, the nurse, one of my they're called a complex care team. I've got two
Yeah.
nurses. We have two nurses because I've got so many issues that I got to deal with that these two nurses assist me on everything. If I got a single question, I call them up. But one of them, they said, "Well, which is your favorite insurer, the vanilla chocolate or strawberry?" I said, "I can handle the chocolate. The strawberries, the best of the three. The vanilla, keep it. I don't want nothing to do it." And they said, "What you do is you go buy a good flavored ice cream. Like if you like the strawberry one, get strawberry ice cream. Put it in the blender. Pour your insurer in with a scoop of that ice cream, and
Oh, that sounds
whip
good.
it up into like a shake, and then drink it and see what you think of the difference." Oh my God, did that make a difference? That made the insurer kind of easier to get through, you know.
Digest, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, oh wow, making pawpaw custard pie today. Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Sorry, you mentioned in Holland. What is pawpaw?
It's a fruit
Oh,
grows in a tree. Yeah, yeah.
okay. Because I
Uh,
don't think we have that here, so I'm just intrigued what it was.
it, it's really popular in our southern part of the United States, but they've got pawpaws growing that they live in Indiana, uh, and that's in the northern tier. We don't have pawpaws growing up here. It's just too the conditions just aren't right for it to grow here. But yeah,
Okay.
down south, lots of pawpaws. The,
But custard sounds good. Yummy. I love custard.
me too. I'm a now a lot of people.
Oh, okay. Heartland
Yeah,
makes.
it tastes like a banana.
Okay, then yeah, that would be no good for me. I can't stand bananas.
Yeah, the Walmart brand of Ensure does have a better taste. You are right. You are right. The what I don't like is how expensive that crap is. The
Yeah, things like that for some reason are mega expensive here. I don't know why, but they seem to be the most expensive products.
yeah, little 6 pack of it costs $10 here,
Ouch.
and you buy a case of it, it's almost $40 for
Ouch, that's
24.
expensive.
The It's cheaper by the case per bottle, but not much.
Yeah.
That's that's like that food I had to eat through that tube feeding. That crap. The That was about $10 a case more than Ensure, and I had to drink three of those a day, or three of those, six of those a day. I had to put through that machine,
Yeah.
and one case lasted 4 days. Is all. So $40, a little over $40 a case, um, and it only lasts. So it's $10 a day just with that fluid part of the diet. It was
Yeah.
just, yeah.
They said you're one of the most strongest people I know, and to battle what you've been through over the last
Uh,
couple of 3 years is amazing. I don't know if I could have personally done it.
I'm through it. I'm through it. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Heck, yesterday when Running Water and I went to the store, we're driving along and there's a place here. It's a farm and fleet store, and we're
Yeah.
driving, and it's quite a ways off the highway. We're driving down the highway and he's looking out there, and then all of a sudden he turns. He goes, "They got a really neat black little mini bike, kind of like the one I bought. That mini bike I bought." Boom, I turn around and next to it is another fleet supply store. I pulled into their parking lot, cut through all the parking lots in
Yeah.
this mall, and got over there. I parked right out front of their store, and we jumped out of the truck and checking that mini bike out. I go, "I like that one. Maybe that'll be the one I'm buying this spring." The the But yeah, I like I told Running Water, as soon as that tube comes out, I don't want it to snow around here until later November,
Yeah.
because that tube will be out. and then they want me to spend a week without doing anything too extraneous until that heals, that hole that they leave
Yeah.
when they pull the tube out. But um, they said after a week, they said you can do whatever you want. And I said, that's cool because I'm jumping on that damn mini bike. Meow, 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 I'm taking off.
Nice.
Yeah, I go.
Maybe it sounds fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a neat little mini bike. It's not meant for a kid. It's not meant for
No.
a kid. The weight of it would be like a little kid trying to ride a motorcycle. If they fell over on it, they probably wouldn't get it back up. It's heavy. It's
Yeah.
not. But it's a mini bike. For an adult. But it's fun. It's fun to ride. I can't wait.
That sounds fun.
Oh, Roy and Becky. Yeah. I could not get Medicare to pay for any of my post-surgical food or the equipment or the supplies. Period.
Wow.
They wouldn't pay for a thing unless I was going to be tube fed beyond 90 days. They said you have to be tube fed for 120 days and we'll pay for the last 60 of those 120 days. If you're on it 120 days after you're put on it. Otherwise, we won't pay for any of it. So I'm off of it. Let's see. It'll be just 2 months next week since my
Nice.
surgery. So I got off the tube feeding in about about 6 weeks. I got off of it,
Oh, congrats. That's
and
amazing.
they were thinking 8 to 10 weeks. And boy, when they told me you can start eating solid foods, you got to start out slow, and you can only do fluids at first, then thicker fluids, then some soft solids, and then solids. And they said, look, check your calorie intake, and every time you have 3 days at such and such a level of calories, you can drop one of those containers of tube food off.
Yeah.
Well, every 3 days I met that threshold, and I dropped a tube every 3 days, or a container every 3 days, and so yeah, in 18 days, totally done. I did it in 18 days. Boom, 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 all done, and yeah. Oh yeah, fought to get it paid for Becky's mom. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. That they don't pick it up. I mean, oh my God, the bags that I got to use on the machine to feed myself. You got to swap that bag out every day. Well, those bags are $10 a piece. So I went through 60 of the damn things. That's $600 worth of bags.
Ouch.
And then the food, $40 every 4 days, and the tubing where it comes out of the body is just a short little tube, but you put an extender on that you can connect the machine up to, or the syringes to. That little connector that's only about that long, that's $10 a piece, and you should change that out about every 4 to 6 days. And so I've been through. Well, I'm changing this one out tonight. That'll be 6 of them. That's $60 for those. And then there's this adhesive mount that you use that keeps the tube up against your body. Those things are $6 a piece, and you change that out every couple of days. So all those costs, Medicare won't pay a penny of it. No.
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
Try to refresh the stream, Chuck. I had that trouble earlier. I logged into Sty's stream, the chat didn't show, and I refreshed it, and that popped up. So you might have to refresh the browser.
Yeah.
I had to do.
Yeah. How
I
you
think it's
doing
a fault
there,
with
old
YouTube.
Chuck?
I think it's a
The
YouTube fault because it's happened in several streams that I've been at today, and I had to refresh the browser every time to get the chat up.
yeah.
So I think it's a YouTube glitch.
Yeah, you're right. It is highway
Yeah,
robbery
Roy
to
and
stay
Becky,
alive these days.
people like to charge extortionate fees. Like I'm quite lucky that we don't really get charged high prices here in the UK for some medical care, but there is some things that are expensive. I know, like Sty says about the energy drinks and stuff like that are quite pricey, but we're quite lucky with a lot of it over here because we have the
Sure.
national health care, so
Yeah.
we're quite lucky over here.
Glad to see that you're doing good there, Chuck. The the thing here is that surgery I went through at the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah.
My costs of the Mayo Clinic, all of the pre-surgery stuff I had to go through. There was 3 days of tests and all this other crap, and then I came back for the surgery, and there was a day of tests before the surgery. Went through the surgery, and then I had to go back down and go through some tests to make sure I could eat a month later, and all this garbage. All of it together, it's about $985,000.
Wow.
Just $5,000 short of just a few $1,000s short of $1,000,000 for them to do what they did to me.
Wow.
And
That's
fortunate,
serious money.
fortunately, right now, the Mayo has managed to get Medicare to pay for all of it, except for what they have to bill me is, if I recall, it's like $2,600 is all that's going to come out of my pocket. Now, my local cancer care, that they managed to get that down. That was over 90,000 itself,
Wow.
and they got that down to $621 that I owe.
Nice.
So that's good.
Hey,
Hey,
Justin and Robert.
Justin. Great to see you, Justin. And there's real Robert. Yeah.
Wow, Farman, it's already midnight for you. It's 20 to 9 at night here in the UK. So
Yeah.
you're 9, 10, 3. So you must be somewhere like
Here.
in the Central Europe time zone, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're 3 hours ahead of me. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, here it's 2:38 in the afternoon. That's why I do these on Sundays at 2 o'clock now, these Sty Shack Sundays, because if I slip a little Sty story in or something, yeah, that'll happen. But I do it at 2 o'clock because my European friends, they can make these because it's not so terribly late. When I'm starting at 7 o'clock at night, it's 1 o'clock in the morning for them.
Yeah.
And I can't be doing that to them.
I usually used to try and stay up for you. Like I used to set myself an alarm. Like I would sleep beforehand, and then I knew that you were coming on at like 1 a.m. my time. I'm like, right, okay, if I could get my head down before you come on, so I'd have like 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hour nap. And I'd wake up with like, 5 minutes before Sty stream starts. So I would get up before. Oh, you're in Azerbaijan. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, ain't that cool? That's cool. Yeah, I just saw him in the chat, and I went and I checked his channel out.
Grammy!
It's only 25 to 4 up there in Ontario. There she is. There's my
Grammy,
sweetie.
how are you, honey?
Yeah. Yeah. There's my sweetie. Yeah. I'm gonna meet up with her one day, come hell or high water. There's another little tiny tidbit of good news. I just broke the 150-pound mark. I was 141 pounds after surgery, and
Wow.
Finally, the other day I hit 154, but I dropped 2 of those pounds, so I'm about 152 right now, and but it's coming up. It's starting to come up, and it's all
Yay.
everything that I get to eat. That's it. Is I can keep putting it on there.
Yeah, at least you're gaining weight.
Yeah,
That's good. That's a good
yeah.
start.
I want to get some of it back. They
Yeah.
told me not to plan on getting much back at all, but but I want to get to 165. If I can get myself up to 165, I'll feel a lot better. For one thing, there'll be some clothes I can wear again. I put this hoodie on today. I'm not kidding, man. It looks like I'm wearing a camouflage dress. I
Oh
come
wow.
wa-
Okay.
I, I come walking into the living room wearing this, and I told Running Water. I mean, even the sleeves. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I've
I,
got baggy
I
sleeves in my dress too.
I come walking out and I go, look at it. I look like a very ancient old kid in his dad's hoodie.
Oh yeah.
he, he was just
I've got
laughing.
men's hoodies.
Yeah, hell, he could crawl in here with me. There's so much room. The,
Yeah.
Chuck, that was my birth weight. I weighed 152 when I was born. The,
I was 5.5 pounds when I was born. I was titchy and I was 5.5 weeks premature. So I was born extremely early.
yeah, yeah. The 218. Is that a magic number? I was 220 at camp when I started camp last year. And when I left camp, came home, I was down to 165, from 220 down to 165. And by March, I was down to 140 pounds. And
Ouch.
so from 220 down to 140, 80 pounds just gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big drop. Yeah.
The Justin, I had a hoodie. I had one of those hoodies, but I grew into it. I'm
Yeah.
hoping I grow back into some of my clothes. I've got, because right now I wear size 30 waist jeans,
Yeah.
um, 28 30s, and I've got a ton of 32s and 34s in my bedroom. Some of them brand new. I didn't even get a chance to wear them. A lot of them are camo, expensive
Yeah.
clothes, and but I can't wear them. They're so damn baggy. I put a belt on, and it's all bunched up around my waist.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so I'm hoping I can fill out enough that I can at least wear my
Yeah.
32. The Otherwise, yeah, local thrift store will get some pretty damn nice clothes that I just won't get into again. The
Yeah.
That
I'm
I
surprised
find
how
out
much
tomorrow.
weight you lost though. That's a lot of weight to drop. That's
Yeah. Well, and I can tell because I'm not carrying that much weight now when I do things.
yeah.
It's
You can tell just by you sitting there that how much weight you've lost. You can see it,
Yeah, I lost a lot in my face.
especially on your face and your shoulders. I can tell.
Yeah, my
It's,
shoulders.
your
Yeah.
shoulders are a lot more smaller.
Yeah. Yeah. I look at some of the old videos and some of my old still pictures and I go, oh boy, that's somebody I don't recognize anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna
Phone's
try
ringing.
your luck throwing some dice. Yeah.
Justin.
So,
I haven't heard that expression in a long time. Usually, like people would say that to me at like when you go camping and they'd have like the little game stalls and they say, "Oh, just roll the dice to play this game." I haven't heard that expression in years. Long time.
yeah. Hey, Native Kutsa, I figured it out after I opened my big mouth about the Is that a magic number? Yeah, it's Justin's magic number. Yeah.
Oh, I
Uh,
didn't. Yeah, Grammy. I didn't click until you just said that. Yeah, I was
yeah.
thinking 218. I was like, huh?
Yeah. I realized that after I opened my big mouth. And
No,
what?
I
What?
didn't
Two
get it
eight?
until I just read her comment. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Duh.
Yeah, I didn't click either. So I'm like, what does that? Huh? Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
didn't click either. My brain didn't process it until I just read it. I'm like, oh, that makes
oh,
sense.
the yeah, the it's a Sunday and I hear all kinds of noise outdoors. It makes me wonder who's doing what out there on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite. I'm quite lucky. It's quite quiet here for the most part, especially now it's in the evening. A lot of people are indoors, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
that my apartment block's already had a noise warning for some of the residents, so we've been told to keep noise down after a certain time. So a lot
Oh.
of us are trying to keep our noise down.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't really create much noise anyway, unless I really have to, because I don't like loud noise at the best of times, let alone making noise.
I went and stopped by the apartments that I used to live in and visited with some of those folks there. And they were all shocked. They said, "Oh, we thought you were dead." they,
Oh,
because one of them had seen me literally the day after I got home from surgery. And I told her, "You should not even be seeing me. It's bad, bad, bad." I had to go to Walmart to get some medical supplies. And
yeah.
I shouldn't have been there. But I didn't have anybody that could go get it for me, so I just went on my own. I shouldn't have been driving. Hell, I
Oh
was
dear.
on fentanyl and oxycodone at the time, and oh hell
Oh,
no,
oh,
I
oh.
had still had to go. So I'm there, and this gal saw me, and she's just like, "Oh my God, you're so sick." Oh yeah, and she thought I was dying, man. And she went
Oh.
back. "I don't think he can survive it. You should see him. He's terrible." And I was all bruised. I was just black and blue everywhere.
Yeah,
I
I can
mean, the
imagine.
bruises were running up my neck. You could see them, and my arms all the way to my wrists were just all black and blue. And I told her, I said, "You should see under this shirt. You would freak. You'd probably faint right there." Well, she went back, told everybody, "I don't think he can survive it. It's bad. It's bad." Well, then I stopped in the other day and they're all just like, "Oh my God." And she saw me and she goes, "You made it. You made it. I can't believe you lived through that shit." She said, "You were in such bad shape." And I told her, I said, "You were part of me making it because I was so weak when I was at Walmart, I couldn't find the medical supplies I needed." And
Yeah.
I told her what I was there for. She says, "I'll find them. You stay right here with your cart. Don't move." And she ran off and brought that stuff to me. So that she really helped me out. But visiting them in that big apartment building, there's 85 apartments in that building. And
Ouch. Wow.
I guess they went through and cleaned the house, got rid of all the problem tenants they had there, and
Yeah.
they said it's nice and peaceful here now, and I said, "Well, that's good. That's good that they've cleaned the place up, got those, because we had tenants living in there that were just nightmares. I mean,
Yeah,
two,
we've had some
3 o'clock
trouble
in
with
the
people here
morning,
too. Because my
just
apartment block is split into two blocks. You've got the red block, which is what I'm in, and then there's the blue block across the pavement sidewalk, you call it. So we've got 24 residents in that one and 24 residents in this block. So we're split. So there's in total 44 of us that live in these apartments.
wow,
So yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That building I was in too is it's adults only, no children.
Yeah,
Um,
we're not allowed children here. It's
yeah,
adults only one.
yeah, and that was nice, because
Most of my tenants there, well, most of the neighbours here are elderly people. Most of them are
yeah,
60s upwards, I
yeah,
think. I think I'm one of the youngest.
Yeah, that building I was in, actually, you had to be 55 or older and or disabled. So we had younger people that were disabled that were living there, but otherwise everybody was over 55 years old. Hey,
Yeah.
it's good to see you, Tim. How you
Hey
doing,
Tim,
buddy?
how's it going? Yeah, me
Yeah,
dibble.
yeah, me too.
Hear a fire alarm again. I'm gonna go nuts.
I set the fire alarms off at that apartment building, making bow drill fires, primitive fires. I was
Yeah.
doing it in my living room in my apartment, and the smoke from it set the damn alarms off. Well, you set an alarm off in one apartment, the whole building sets off.
Yeah,
And
and it
so
doesn't mind.
every
Yeah.
so everybody's heading, they're getting out, and I ran out. No, 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 no. It's no big deal. No, don't worry about it. Yeah, it was too late. Fire department showed up. I caught them at the front door and told them, no, there's no fire. There's no fire. No, I had smoke in my apartment that set off the alarm system. Yeah,
Yeah.
the but yeah, living here at Running Waters is nice because he's the best landlord in the world. I mean, he is the best landlord in
I
the world.
bet.
The we've if something major goes wrong, yeah, he makes sure we get it fixed, and it's nice and comfortable here. That it got down to 67 degrees Fahrenheit here, and I,
Wow.
wa- I was sitting there in the living room. I'm wearing my wool socks and heavy sweatpants and this hoodie, and I got a blanket over me. I'm sitting on the couch playing PlayStation. I go, I just can't get warm today. It's just cold. He says, well, what is the temp? And I looked at it. I said, it's 67 degrees. He goes, well, turn the heat on. I said, can I turn it up to 70 or 71? Well, yeah. So I did. Now it's really comfy in here. It's at about 70 degrees and
Yeah.
very comfortable. But I got no body weight anymore, so I get cold real easy. And
Yeah.
yeah,
We get. It's not too cold here right now. Like for us, it's currently, according to my laptop, 14 degrees Celsius right now for us. So it's quite warm.
hmm
And then apparently we've got snow coming in 2 to 3 weeks, apparently. But whether that's true or not, I don't know.
yeah, yeah. It got down to 36 degrees Fahrenheit here. Um, the night before last, and it was
Oh
yeah
wow. Okay.
that was cold. The yeah, it's that time of year where people gotta think about cleaning out their gardens, getting the last of the good eats out of the garden. The frost is going to hit. What's it look like out there, running water?
It's pouring.
Oh my gosh, it is! I can see it.
It's sunshiny and it's pouring rain.
We've got what we call sun showers. It's pouring rain and the sun's shining. So we got a cloud somewhere over us dumping this rain on us, but there's no clouds around it, so the sun's shining. It's just dumping right here.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that noise was. I heard something hitting the house.
Hitting the house. Yeah. The
Hey, running water.
Gemma says, "Hey, running water." Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So me and me dibble 12. Yeah, that's 54 Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Me dibble. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the mid 50s. I don't mind the mid 50s in Fahrenheit, 12 to 14 Celsius. It's comfortable, especially if you're out walking around or doing something, moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mountain Dew moments.
Yeah, Mystic Bunny, we had a lot of rainbows recently. I don't know whereabouts in the world you are, but ever since the Queen's passing, we've had a lot of rainbows in the sky the last few days. There's been a load of photos being posted of double rainbows and single rainbows, which has been quite cool to see.
No, 16 centigrade up there. The up there in Canada.
That's not too bad.
The yeah, I know I'm starting to feel better when looking at Facebook the other day. Facebook Marketplace just down the road from me. There was someone had an ad in there. They had a kayak for sale. They said they only used it a couple of times, that it looks like brand new right from the store, and it came with the paddles and a life jacket. And they said they only want $150 for it. Well, the type of kayak it was, I looked it up, and oh no, they were crazy. $150. That thing, it's going to cost you $300 to go buy one. And so I called them, or I messaged them right away, and I said, "Don't sell it. I'll take it." I figured if I don't use it, heck, I'll sell it for a couple $100. I'll make some money off of it. Well,
hey, words and pictures.
They messaged me right back, and they said it sold within 10 minutes of them posting it, and they had posted it that morning.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I can believe it. Yeah. Great to see you there, Words and Pictures.
You're not that far from me, Words and Pictures. London's about an hour by train from where I am right now. So you're not that far from where I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Kathy H. How are you? 100 degrees where you are. Ouch.
Wow.
That's hot.
Yeah. Yeah. That is. That's yeah. Oh, John's looking for a canoe trailer. Yeah. 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 That was one thing. Oh, that's right. That with that kayak. Now that's what made it really insane. Was that it came with the kayak rack for on the roof of your vehicle. Well, that damn rack, I looked online for those racks. That's $100 for one of those, for a cheap set. And that looked like a good set. And $150 for the whole works. Oh man, they were crazy. And I know damn well if I would have bought it, no, I wouldn't have sold it. I would have put the racks on the roof of my truck. I would have hauled that kayak around with me, and I would have used it. I would have definitely used it.
Yeah. Words and Pictures, yeah, I am English. Like I said, I'm not that far from you. I'm literally about an hour away from London by train, so yeah, I'm in the same country as you. Me Dibble. Yeah. I've run into that. Somebody says, "Oh, I got such a thing for sale," and I'm really interested. So I go look at it, and I go, "Okay, what are you asking?" And then they tell me the price, and I go, "God, man, I can just go down the road here and buy it for $50 cheaper, brand new, with a warranty on it. Are you mad?" Well, that's what it's worth. If I can't get that, then I'm not selling it. I said, I actually hope you don't sell it, because whoever buys it's getting cheated. Yeah.
You're goofy. No, it's worth that. It's worth that. Just because you think it's worth it doesn't mean it's worth it.
No, not at all.
But I've had people tell me, "Oh, I've got this rare whatever." And then you look it up and you go, "Yeah, they are rare." And they say, "It's worth $3,000. Well, I looked it up, and you can buy them for $800. So no, you think it's worth $3,000. I know it's worth $3,000, and I'm going to list it, and I'm going to make a lot of money off it. You ain't going to get that. Just because you put that price on it doesn't mean it's going to, and you see that on eBay, people will price things.
Yeah.
And people go, "Oh yeah, they cost this much, this much, this much." No, you don't look at the price. Look at how many they've sold. They're
Yeah.
not selling them for that price. Nobody's buying it, but some people do pay it.
Yeah, so for instance, when I recently bought a Disney hoodie off of eBay, and I knew it was cheaper than what it was worth originally. And the guy was like, "Well, it's still near enough brand new." I was like, "Well, I can get it off the actual website for the original price." I asked him, "What's the point in me paying nearly exactly the same price if I can get it a bit cheaper?" And then he was like, "Oh, hold on," and he tried to debate me. I'm like, "No, what's the point? Because I can
What's the
go elsewhere
point,
and get it." It's so
right?
stupid.
Right. Yeah. So you're just wasting your breath trying to
Yeah,
convince
it's
me
just
to
like,
pay
well, I
you.
can go elsewhere and get it. So
Yeah. The Yeah, Tim. There you go. See, now I've done that. I've bought some things. It was very reasonable, um, and then ended up selling it for a lot more than I actually paid for it, and and surprised the heck out of me. I had bought a canoe once. It's a little one-manner kind of canoe, a little 12-footer, awesome canoe. I paid $125 for it in a yard sale. When I
yeah,
sold the canoe, all I threw in was a set of paddles and a couple of life jackets, and it sold for $325. So I got $200 more for it than what
yeah,
I paid for it, and it didn't come
nice.
with paddles and life jackets. Um, so I at least came out $150 ahead, and yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it does.
The Yeah, and me, Divo, that's you hear that all the time. Well, I paid £1,000 for it. I'm not going to sell it for less than what I paid for it. Well, but you used it, you know. So you kind of used up some of that £1,000 you spent on it. I'm not going to pay you what you paid for it. No.
No.
So,
It's
yeah.
just about being reasonable. Like, if you've used something that you've brought and then you want to sell it, then you have to be prepared to sell it for a little bit less than the original price. It's just the way it works.
It's just the way it works. Unless it's a specialty item that all of a sudden is worth a lot of money, you know. Yeah, be realistic, you know.
Yeah.
I've been to yard sales, garage type sales, junk sales, and everything they got prices like you're going into a retail brand new store. And it's like, boy, you ain't going to sell nothing here. But then I've been to some yard sales where, holy God, you'd be lucky. You fill the whole trunk of your car up on $10. I mean, everything's so cheap that it's just, yeah. But they're selling everything. Everything's going. Everybody's willing to
Yeah.
pay that. The When I did my garage sales after my divorce, I had so much of this stuff that my ex-wife left behind. She had
Yeah.
250 puzzles that she put it together, put it back in the box, tape the box shut, and store it. That was it. And she just keep buying new puzzles, new
Yeah.
puzzles, new puzzles. Well, she did the same thing with paperback books, novels, hundreds of them damn things, and they looked like they were brand new. She was real fastidious. She didn't like the bindings getting creased, and boy, don't dog
Yeah.
your page. So they all look brand spanking new. I put all them novels out there, looking at the prices on them, $4, $5, $6 a piece. I put them out there 25 cents a piece. Sold every one of them, man. They were just gone. And the
Nice.
I had bought her this huge Betty Boop doll collection. Every Betty
Oh,
Boop
Betty
doll
Boop, a
ever
lady after my
made.
own heart. Yeah.
And there were thousands. I had thousands of dollars invested in that. I put all the Betty Boop things out there, and I priced them all at half the retail price of them. Every single one of them were gone within a day. Everybody
Wow.
saw them and just go, not for that price. I gotta get and I'm not gonna take one, I'm gonna take five, and
Yeah.
everything just whoop, gone. Because you price it low, it goes. And God, that sale was pretty good. I made about $3,000 off of selling all of our stuff, but I sold probably about $10,000 worth of stuff. If I would have priced it at what it's probably really worth, but I just wanted rid of it, and the $3,000 was nice to have.
Yeah. I've sold a lot of stuff. Like I have a lot of novels and things that I could get rid of, but a lot of the books that I collect are for like my recent lot of books are autism ones or ones that I'm interested in. I'm like, I don't want to sell them because
Right.
they're not for everyone's interest. So I should keep them.
Right. Yeah. Like me, Devil there. That guitar, they don't make it anymore, and it's a vintage item. And it's worth a lot more than it was new. But then you got to ask yourself, do I really want to sell it? See, that's like me. I've got the Andrews sisters back in the 1940s. My mother knew the Andrews sisters in Waconia, Minnesota, and they became famous. They were famous singing quartet of sisters.
Yeah.
But they did Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, that song, and they put it on those old thick 78 speed records during World War II. The thing is almost every one of those records got shipped overseas. They were shipped overseas for our military boys to hear.
Yeah.
They didn't sell a lot of them here in the right where they were made. They were all shipped out.
Yeah.
So they became very rare, and those records are very fragile. They break easily. Well, they're so hard to find now. I've got two of them. I had one that had a fracture crack in it, but it still plays. You don't hear the crack in it. You got to be careful with it, though. And the other one's in pristine condition. Well, the one in pristine condition is worth about $1,200, that one record, because it's so rare. The broken one's worth about $800 because it's still playable. Well, I've had a lot of people say, why don't you sell those? Because I like the fact that I'm hanging on to something that very few people out there have.
Yeah,
exactly. It's mine. When I'm dead and gone, if Running Water wants to sell them, go ahead. I don't care. I won't care at that point. But I'm going to keep them as long as I live. It's a collector thing.
That's having something that's unique and vintage. Not a lot of people think about that kind of stuff. Like Kathy H here says, sometimes when selling old things, she can get a surprise. She recently had a stamp collector look at her late father's stamp collection. Yeah, my grandfather collects stamps over the decades. Like he's got RAF stamps and other stuff in a big binder book thing, and God knows how much they're worth. I don't know, but he has books upon books upon books.
Yeah, words and pictures selling tree fungus could make you money. I'll tell you what, with all the shaga that I've harvested over the years, I've harvested thousands of dollars worth of shaga. I've never sold it. I've given it away to people, but I've never sold it. But I could have it. Boy, I could have made thousands of dollars off of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably could have sold it.
Yeah. I would harvest about 60 to 100 pounds of shaga a season every year. And
so I said, do you still have shaga? Because I know you like to do it.
Yeah, I got a couple of big mason jars full of shaga.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna, because I'll be well enough, I'm gonna go up and maybe do a little shaga hunting in November.
Nice.
It's a little early in the season. I usually like shaga hunting in January when it's really cold. That's a good time to go shaga hunting. But it's good any time of year you find it. So I got a couple of spots that are pretty good for shaga I haven't seen in a couple of years. So I'm thinking I might do that.
Nice.
Hey, Roy and Becky, it's great that you stopped in this Sunday. That is so nice. Um, I hope you have a good week.
Have a great Sunday, Roy and Becky.
Yeah. The yeah, yeah. That axe that I found in that stump. That I've had a couple people say that they'd like to buy that from me. No, I don't want to get rid of it
Yeah, you
because
find something like that, then yeah, there's probably a
yeah,
reason why you found it.
that's got a story behind it. You know, it
Yeah,
goes. There's value up to me with that axe that you can't get money for. You know,
yeah,
so
absolutely.
the
There's always a story behind everything. It's just it
yeah,
depends on the way you
yeah,
tell it.
yeah. That axe I found in that tree. The best estimate we can come up with is that it wasn't it had to have been stuck in that stump before 1960, and
Wow.
and there I found it in like 2020, about 2020.
Yeah.
So 80 years that thing sat stuck in that stump. It wasn't stuck very hard anymore. The stump was rotting, you know. So it came out of the stump pretty easy. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, words and pictures. You're right. Yeah, that's real history, and that's why when I did my video about that axe, I said you can almost give that axe its own story because we don't know its true story, other than the fact that it was obviously out there splitting wood for that fire pit that was out there hidden in the woods, all grown in, and had a tree growing in the center of the fire pit.
Oh, nice.
And so it had been ages at that. When I saw the stump, the thing I thought right away was that's like Wizard of Oz finding the Tin Man out in the woods, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how long I've been standing here. Oh, words and pictures. Ah, thank you so much.
Thank you for the donation, words and
That
pictures. That's really
that
nice
is
of you.
that is so sweet of you. That is awesome. That is awesome. The oh yeah, an old mono.
Yeah, me
Beatles
too. Well, I've
record.
got some
Yeah,
CDs of artists that I like that I'm never ever gonna get rid of. That I've
yeah.
got all their first albums and the greatest hits albums and stuff.
That that's cool. Yeah, yeah. The I'm terrible. I enjoy a lot of mixed genre, you know, and
Yeah, me too.
my liked list on Spotify. Yeah, when I started out, I had like 40, 50 songs on it, you know, my faves. And then it
Yeah.
grew and it grew and it grew. Now I can start my Spotify like song list in the morning and it's evening before it reaches the end of the list. I mean, I
Nice. That's always
got
good
so
though.
damn much music on it now that it's just
I love
ridiculous.
music. Music is therapy to a lot of people, and I love my music. My music helps me with my anxiety if I'm feeling anxious or if I'm doing chores at home. I just whack on my music and let it play.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, metal music. Yeah. Use a little bit of old style beer to lubricate the joints. Yeah.
Wizard of Oz is one of my favorite time films. I've watched that since I was a little girl. My mum got me a copy of the DVD and she said, "You'll love this film." I'm like,
Uh-huh.
Wizard of Oz, what a weird title. I remember watching it going,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah. My mother, and I don't know the date, but she was just a young girl at the time. That was the very first motion picture she ever saw. And
wow."
they showed it on the wall of the hardware store in the town she grew up in.
Oh, nice.
outdoors. And the whole damn town turned out to watch Wizard of Oz on the side of this big building. And
Nice.
she said she'll never forget how the audience, she said there was probably 300 people there watching it. And they had these speakers all over so you could hear it, good. And she said, after the house landed and she steps out of the house and everything's in color, it's all in black and white till she steps out of the house.
Yeah.
When it went to color, she said that whole freaking audience went just nuts, went crazy over it because it was so bright, so beautiful. They just hadn't seen colored picture movies like that. And she would talk about that all the time. And she said it was kind of an expensive picture show because they would have a picture show usually once a week at that location, and they'd get 40, 50 people come and watch, But for the Wizard of Oz, the whole damn town showed up. It was in a big town, but the whole town showed up. And she said, but it was kind of expensive. She said, it cost 15 cents to see that movie. I go, what? Say what? And she goes, their movies are usually a nickel to see the movie, but that one, you had to pay 15 cents to see the Wizard of Oz. And I said, if it's in the middle of town on the side of a building, how do you make everybody pay 15 cents? She said that the city, the town, said that anybody caught watching the movie without paying their 15 cents would be fined $2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And she said, so everybody paid their 15 cents in town and everybody showed up to watch, So that was kind of cool. There's kind of a neat little story behind it.
We recently had things like that here in the UK, especially during the whole pandemic thing. My local park has started to open up and show films, and so a lot of people they called it a night out at the movies, and basically we could take our own camping chairs and things like that. And me and my nephew went to one a couple of weeks ago, and the amount of people who actually turned up with blankets and food for people, and it was really nice to see everybody.
You have fun watching cartoons, Kathy.
Have fun, Kathy.
I used to love, that's several years ago, but I used to love when we had the grandbabies. I got to watch cartoons, but some people say he's a terrible grandpa because I have him watching Warner Brothers, the Coyote.
We watched that here,
watching the old ones that they say are too violent nowadays,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, me devil. I don't understand that because I've had Spotify for a long time. I don't get any spam email at all that has anything to do with Spotify. Yeah, I don't get any email has to do with Spotify. So yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
Kathy, I had my nephew over at the weekend. On Friday night he slept here, and we just watched cartoons and wrestling, and he loves, like, especially things like Scooby-Doo and all the classic stuff. And people are like, oh, you can't watch that now because it's too violent and it encourages children to talk to strangers and stuff. I'm like, oh, come on, it's a dog. It's ridiculous. Scooby-Doo is harmless. I don't watching it.
People don't give children credit enough to. They can tell what's real and what's not.
Yeah, of course they can. My nephew's nearly 10 years old.
When the ex-wife and I lived over in Minnesota, we had a farm, and we only had 3 of our 4 kids at the time. And I had a tree service, and I worked the tree service and I worked our farm, all that. It's constant. But on Saturdays, everybody knew, don't expect anything from me between about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning until about 11 o'clock in the morning because I would be at the local restaurant. They had the biggest cinnamon rolls you ever seen. They're huge and just
Yeah.
smothered with icing, and they were hot and fresh, and you put fresh butter on them. Oh God, they were awesome. But they had this big table in the middle of the restaurant. It'd seat about 12 people. Well, there was 12 of us men, local men, that would show up there every Saturday morning, and we're at that table. And they had one waitress that would kind of cater just to us. And they had a big television. They turned that bugger on, and it was Warner Brother cartoons. And that's what the 12 of us showed up for. It wasn't to sit there and BS with each other. It was to watching them cartoons, eat our cinnamon rolls. Every Saturday morning, all these grown men in there watching cartoons. Somebody be in there, and they'd have a kid that's screaming and stuff. And somebody at that table would tell them, "You need to shut your kid up. We're watching cartoons.
Yeah.
We can't be having that while we're watching the Roadrunner, Wile E.
No.
Coyote's going to get squished, and that kid's screaming, shut him up, Yeah.
That's like when me and my best friend went out on Friday for our usual lunch that we go out, and there was this child behind us in the next table screaming.
Thanks so much, words and pictures.
Bye, words and pictures, take care. And literally this child was throwing a fit, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Trying to eat your lunch, and all you can hear is this high-pitched screaming child literally turning themselves pink and red and blue in the face. I'm like, someone needs to take that child out of the restaurant. Like, we're trying to eat.
And that was, man, when I was raising my kids, if a kid decided to raise Cain in a public place, it did take them long, my kids, to learn. We go to a restaurant, we're there to eat. We're not there to put up with you having a fit. So if you start having a fit, guess what? Either me or your mother's taking you out to the car.
Yeah.
And that means one of us is going to have to go without dinner. The rest of the family's not leaving. You are. And we take that kid right out the car and say, guess what? You're going to have a peanut butter sandwich when you get home because you don't get to eat in a restaurant when you behave that way. And because I'm not going to let that restaurant have to go through that misery, listen to that kid. And boy, now if you tell somebody, can you control your child? They're out of control. They tell you, it's none of your business. Don't you be talking about my kid. Nah. You know what? You're one of those, the kid don't need a spanking, the parent does. I mean,
sometimes
they're not
just
parenting,
Yeah. So I've said to people, the reason I don't go in restaurants is because if I do, I have to have it so it's quiet. And if I have things like screaming children behind me or someone making a lot of noise, I just leave. I can't do it.
Right. You can't deal with it. Yeah.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
Cartoon. We do have Cartoon Network still here, Metal Music in the UK, but I don't really tend to watch unless my nephew's here with me because he likes to watch Scooby-Doo on Cartoon Network. He likes to watch Snoopy and Dragon Ball Z and other things. So I have the cartoons for him.
I don't watch the Cartoon Network anymore. I watch the old cartoons that they just don't want the networks even showing anymore. You can find them all on YouTube. I watch the old ancient Popeye cartoons and that.
Oh, I said Popeye a long time ago.
All off of YouTube, all kinds of.
Yeah, I love Popeye. That was funny.
Yeah, I like Leghorn.
Pink Panther was one of my favorites. That was funny.
I like old Leghorn.
Yeah, me too. And the screaming kid in training is a pain, but on a plane there's no escape. That's part of the reason why I haven't travelled in years. One, because of my travel issues that would cause a scene, and two, I haven't tried travelling in a plane since my autism diagnosis, so it's been a long time since I've been out of the country.
I've had a couple of flights where I get on board, and then here comes some gal, and she's got some little 2 or 3 year old with her, and puts that kid between me and her, and I go, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. And I'll get a hold of the flight attendant and say, hey, you got a different seat for me? Someone I can swap out with somehow, some way? Because if you don't, I'm getting off the flight. I am not flying for 2 hours sitting next to that little monster. Because, and people don't get it. And it's not fair to the kid either, because those kids, the pressure changes. They don't know how to move their jaw,
move the jaw, and,
pop their ears, and so they get earaches and they get headaches, they get flight sick, so they're miserable.
Yeah.
And the kid starts screaming, and I just say, no, I ain't sitting next to that. I don't know. If I wanted one of them, I would have brought one.
Yeah.
Would have brought my own. Hey,
I can't
Dean,
imagine how much of a pain I would be traveling, especially now I have to declare I have a disability, so I'd have to have all the paperwork and be a pain in the backside for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, Ren and Stimpy. Nasty, aren't they? But funnier than hell. God, I used to watch all of Ren and Stimpy.
I've seen clips of Ren and Stimpy online. I haven't actually. The UK didn't actually have that on TV, so I tend to watch the American cartoons online.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy are pretty disgusting, but they're funny.
Yeah, I know who they are. I've seen snippets on YouTube and things, so I've watched it before.
Yeah,
Yeah, me Dibble, I've had that previously in the past for like my anxiety and stuff. Like I've had it when I had travel sickness and stuff. I don't think it's a good idea to always be on it because that can be rather addicting. I got quite addicted to it at one point. I was like, no, I need to come off this because I started relying on it as a painkiller. I was like, nope, not a good idea.
Highs in the low 80s. I like the mid 70s to the mid 80s with low humidity.
I know I had to re-experience traveling next to grumpy old people and stuff. Like I get the occasion, like if I'm on a bus publicly and stuff. And the other day I went on the train for the first time in 6 months. I'll be on a public train ride and I actually filmed it. I actually need to upload it. I totally forgot about uploading it. I took some footage on my cell phone and it was so weird, like seeing how everyone was spaced out and had like their briefcases blocking like other chairs and stuff so people didn't sit next to them. And it was just so weird. It was really odd.
Yeah, Dean, I do watch some of my old videos. You know what I watch the most are when it comes to old videos, I'll watch my earliest ones when I had the camp, when I had my wilderness skills camp. I'll watch those. It kind of reminds me of my rotten equipment and the conditions I was trying to work in.
Yeah,
and
I watched my first year or so videos.
It's funny to watch them. Yeah.
And I go back and I'm like, oh my, Gemma.
Like, what a change, eh?
Yeah, I was like this shy, like withheld, kind of quiet spoken person. And now I'm just like this completely changed person. I'm like, wow, where did she come from? What I
watched the most of the old stuff is the my old live streams. I had some of the greatest panels when I first started live streaming. Man, yeah, I still do. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I am not complaining. But I watched those old ones and some of the good times that we were having and stuff.
Yeah.
And carrying on and stuff. And I was in good health at the time. And I was doing those challenges, eating challenges and the hot pepper challenges and stuff.
Oh, I remember when I told you not to do the I think it's the hottest chocolate in the world.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, please don't do this. Please don't do this. You're like, I'll be all right. And I'm like,
yeah, that VAT-19 bar just about killed me. That was the only hot challenge I did where I had to cut my stream off early.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was in too much pain at the end there. I just said, no, I got to cut it off early. and I can't throw up like a lot of. I'm like Phil is. Everything's spicy. I'm like him. I can't throw things up. So, and
No.
that's all I wanted was to get that out of my system, but you couldn't get rid
Yeah.
of it. So I just went through the stomach cramps and the
Metal Music says, watching Sty build a camping chair, not enough rope, gravity wins 9 out of 10 times.
yeah, you're a smart aleck. The let's see here. Oh no, this is the other one. Doggone it.
I think
back-
one of the
my
first
back-
videos I watched of Sty's is when he was at camp and he was
My-
talking about the different food he was cooking. I think he was cooking some form of peppers and something, and he was like standing there with his stick cooking it, and I'm like, what is that? And I remember going back 2 or 3 times to actually watch it from start to finish. I'm like, oh, so that's how he did it. Okay, and
So he's
Yeah.
talking about watching Sty build camping chair, not enough rope, gravity wins 9 out of 10 times. He's referring back to this chair here. Watch this, guys. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
funny.
Sometimes the chair gets you back, you know. Yeah,
Oh,
that
that
was
happened to me the other day. I went to a music festival for the day, and I went to sit down in my chair, and the chair just went kaboom. I just went bang. I was like, and everyone was like, Gemma, what have you done? I was like, I didn't do anything. I went to sit down, and the chair just collapsed on me.
Yeah, ouch. Hey,
Yeah, that everyone
not
was
too
laughing.
great. Good to see ya. Yeah, people like seeing Sty fall on his butt, you know. That's
Yeah.
this one. Let's see if this one's not.
Hey, and not true.
Not true qui.
Natural queen.
Not
Okay.
true qui. Yeah.
So I don't want to mispronounce the name, but hi.
Okay, Kathy. Got your visiting nurse. You have a good day there, Kathy. Yeah, here's fall down net. I got a couple of dedicated viewers like the best. Right after the fall down, I'll stop it because it's a minute and a half long. Wait a minute, where's my mouse? There it is. My mouse went to sleep on me. But here we go.
Oh, fucking son of a bitch! Oh, Jesus H. Christ. Now that doesn't happen often, but when it does, it pisses you off.
Nice.
I was walking a just nice and clear trail, and there was just this one little stick sticking up that caught in the shoelace of my hiking shoes, and it was just enough to send me rolling. And oh Jesus H Christ, son of a bitch. Oh yeah, that's the way it is if you're out hiking with Sty. You gotta keep your eyes open if you're with me out in the woods, because any moment I might take a spill.
Nice.
And people say you're crazy, man. And I tell them, my fall downs, I even get a kick out of them. I laugh them off.
Yeah.
The only one that kind of scared me was that time. I don't have that clip set up for StreamYard, but is when I fell at that waterfall and I slid down that hillside, and there's a big red pine, and I hit that red pine. Right beyond that red pine, it dropped about 60 feet down into the gorge, right at the base of the waterfall. It would have killed me if I would have gone off of there. I would have been all busted up over the rocks down there at the base of the waterfall. And I slid down that damn hill with the camera, and the camera goes nose deep into all the pine needles. When I came to a stop, it's just like, whoa, here we go. This guy, and I was not going to let go of that camera because I figured if I go off the side, man, I want this filmed all the way down. They'll find the film someday, and they'll go, whoa, this guy filmed his last jump, Yeah. Yeah, John says, yeah, that one was scary. Yeah, that was scary. And I feel bad because I've sent a couple of folks. I told them about it and told them, yeah, if you ever have a day that you want to go snoop around, that's a neat waterfall. Well, one of them took their kids with them out there. And I said, oh, Jesus. No, don't take kids to that waterfall because it's really kind of remote and there's nothing to stop you from falling down in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, metal music. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know.
Yeah, Sty will live for a long time. Like, Sty's not going anywhere. Like, he's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, John and Jan, they remember those.
Sty's one of the most toughest people that I know. Like, on YouTube, he's battled some stuff and he's still here. So that speaks volumes to me. He's gone through a lot of stuff that a lot of people wouldn't be able to deal
I
with.
can't do near what I used to, but that doesn't mean I'm going to quit doing. I don't quit.
No.
I just do things a little slower and I take a little more precaution. And
yeah, of course.
I can't do quite as extreme of things, but
you're the one who encouraged me to do the camping videos. Like when I go out camping and things, like you were like, Gemma, what about if you do this? And I'm like, and I said, you know what? I'll try.
I knew it. I just knew it. You just had that personality that if I gave you a little challenge, you'd take it. I knew you. I just had this feeling she's gonna do it. And you did. Yeah, that made me so proud of you. Yeah.
I love going camping. Like, every time I go camping now, I try and vlog it and record it, and I just like showing people that British camping can be fun. And there's some really nice places here that have really nice rivers and stuff
right.
like
And
that.
you don't have to, you don't have to rough it. You don't have to be miserable.
No,
and just get outside and enjoy it. And you did so much.
Simple tent and sleeping bag and a camping chair, and I'm pretty much away.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And me Devil, he puts up with this crazy Brit and his random comments.
Me Devil, I'm crazy Brit too.
You betcha. And bad spelling, he says. No worse than mine.
I'm not too bad with spelling, but I'm bad when it comes to like grammar. If I'm typing out an email to someone or a private message and I'm typing, trying to get what I want out to say, and I'm like, I'll go through what I'm writing. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Maybe that should go there. And then I'm like,
That's like Running Water and I, when he's out on the road, there's times we'll get into somewhat of a conversation by text, but I keep my comments so short. Sometimes he'll say something and I just give him a thumbs up. I hate typing on the phone. I hate it.
Yeah, I'd rather do it on the computer.
My daughter, because she's got all these kids in the house, they're screaming all the time. She doesn't like to call because she gets so distracted. So she likes to text. And I'll only deal with that because she asks questions that require a lot of comments back. And then I'll only do that for about 10, 15 minutes. Then I'll send her one, call me when you have a chance.
Yeah.
Because I'm done typing on that thing for you. And I try voice to text. It don't get, I got to edit it so damn much all the time that
Yeah.
it's not worth doing. So yeah. And me diddle says, as my grandfather used to say, if you're camping and roughing it, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
That's
you don't need to
and-
have such a lot of equipment when you go camping. It's really that easy. You just take a camping chair, a tent, and a few other basic essentials, some cooking pots, and like I have these like little camping cooking like little metal boxes that I use, and knife and forks, and that's about it. You don't need much.
Yeah. You got to make sure to dig that old duty hole, you know. When you're roughing it, if you're doing the backwoods camping. And I've been known for saying it so many times that every day camping to me has been a good day. Even the bad days were good days because
Yeah.
I was outside, I was outdoors doing something outdoors. And yeah, I love camping. I just love it. And I can't wait till spring because I can work on my adventure trailer and finish it up and have it road ready. And I'm going to be running around Wisconsin, probably Michigan, down to Iowa. Be pretty close to home next year, but I'm going to be doing some road tripping and some camping. I can't wait. Yeah. And I can't totally rough it like I used to. I got to be on a damn CPAP machine when I sleep at night because I got sleep apnea so bad.
Ouch. Yeah.
But hell, 2 years ago out at Black Lake, hammock hanging in the tree, and I slept in the hammock all night. But I got to have that CPAP machine. So my CPAP machine, I use an inverter on a battery to run it. Well, I hauled a battery out to my hammock, hooked it up, my machine, and I used the CPAP machine. Well, the next morning, I got up and I just left the hose from the CPAP machine that was sitting on the ground, down by the ground, up and in the hammock with the mask on it.
Yeah.
And I was getting my fire going to make my breakfast. Here comes two people walking past my campsite. And they stopped and said, good morning. And they're looking at they kept looking around me at my hammock. I thought, what the hell? And looking back. And the gal, she goes, what's the hose going into your hammock for? I said, that's so I don't have to get out of the hammock at night. I can just wet the bed. That pumps it out. Oh, the look on her face was to die for. He started laughing so hard. He goes, and he's the one that said, are you serious? I said, no, that's a CPAP machine. That's a hose for my breather.
Yeah.
There you go, Dean. You know, as far as I'm concerned, if you're staying outside, you're camping. You can camp.
Yeah, if you're outside, then I'd say if you're outside, then you're pretty much camping because you're out in the elements. You're out in nature.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me dibble. That's it. See, that's the way I'm going to rig up my mini bike. Running Water's got his mini bike. I'm going to buy one in the spring, and I'm rigging up my mini bike so I can carry a small tent with me, small battery pack that'll run my CPAP machine for 2 nights, but I can have my tent, bedroll, CPAP, and battery, and all my food stuff's strapped right to that mini bike, and off I go, heading down the trails. And I find a spot to camp, and I set up camp, and in case I don't get to my destination in time, I can just camp along the way, you know. But I did that just backpacking around when I was a teenager. My
Yeah.
backpack always had a pup tent in it, and some basic gear, and because I didn't know where I was going to end up, I go to a friend's house, and he goes, "Why in the heck you got that backpack with you? It's got everything I need in
Yeah.
it." Because I don't know if I'm not going to stay at your place all damn day. I might end up at somebody's house that's 15 miles from here, and I ain't going to want to walk home at midnight,
No.
So I'll
Oh,
just pitch
hell
a
no.
tent up in their backyard or off in
Yeah,
the
you
bushes
can take
somewhere.
stuff with you, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I got to do this real quick because I got to do this for the supporters, the members of the channel.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
takes less than 50 seconds, so don't go anywhere, anybody. This comes right back up. We come right back up. Yeah, me, Dibble. I would love to camp with you. Yeah, anybody. John and Jan know I love having folks camping with or nearby them
Absolutely.
and um, Nicholas Green when he came and stayed in camp. Now, Nicholas, he stayed right on my campsite. Um, but yeah, I love having other campers around.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it more enjoyable for everybody then.
Yep, Native Kusi
Grammy's lurking.
still keeping an eye on us.
Grammy.
Yeah, she's good about it. I love
Yeah,
that.
she's a lovely lady. I love Grammy. She's a great girl. She's a really good
Hey, you betcha there, Mystic Bunny. I totally understand. Got to get out there and pick what's left in
Take
that
care,
garden.
Mr. Bunny. Have a good one.
Yep, yep. Yeah, their garden did pretty doggone good this year, and Nicholas Green's garden did really good this year, and he never really put his heart into and got serious about his gardening till this year, and it paid off. He did well. He did really good this year. I'm happy for him.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's something I'll be doing next year too. Is a little bit of gardening, not a ton of it, but I'm going to have a small garden going, get some veggies growing. Yeah, I like the garden. Yeah, Mystic Bunny. Can't wait to come up and camp again, Sty. Yeah, the next season, man. You and John and I are going to spend some time together, one way or the other. If you can't get here, I'll get there. Something's got to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Well, I learn a lot from Sty all the time. Like, even if I ask him a question or if I'm in the chat listening to a story, I'm like, oh.
It's, you know, that's why I ended up, why we created the Wilderness Skills Camp is people kept coming to me and saying, hey, can you teach me to do this? Can you teach me to do that? And on and on. And one of my partners said, hey, I got the land and
Yeah.
I got a place where you can set up shop. And how about we set up a skills camp and then you can actually get paid for doing it. Well, I did it for 2 years and never made a dime. I never made a penny off of it. My partners did, but I never made a penny off of it.
That's a shame.
But well, I enjoyed it though. I loved it. I lived. I had enough other income that I covered my groceries and expenses and everything, but I got to spend time with clients out in the woods and teach them new skills, and I
Yeah.
loved it. I just loved it, and I had a hard time doing it commercially because I love doing it whether I got paid or not, and that's why I tell people now if I camp with them and they want to talk about a certain skill or something that I can help them with, yeah, I'll do it. I like that. Love
Yeah,
it.
you're a natural teacher. You've got that compassion, that empathy about you that makes it easy to learn and to listen to you. And I think you have that way of bonding with people, and especially with me. You've done me the world of good. Like, I've learned to communicate a lot better, and it's just the way that you teach people, the way you respect people, that how you communicate.
I don't know what it is. I think I think part of it is it's important to see the value in each person, that
Yeah.
there's so many people that don't even realize how much value they have, and if you can help them actually realize they're more skilled than they give themselves credit for. And if you
Oh
can
yeah.
help them with just one or two little skills, all of a sudden they feel so much better about themselves. And that makes me feel good about myself. The,
Yeah, absolutely.
oh, check
Hey
this out.
NBA.
Yeah,
That's
Matt,
nobody.
Matt J's in the house. That's
Hey
great.
Matt.
Yes, awesome, Matt. And there he is. There's Robin. There's my man. I
Hey
love
NBA Roland.
keeping track of you there, brother. But yeah. I haven't been commenting much, but I'm still keeping track of you. Yeah, I love what you're doing, man. You're canning. Oh shit. Yeah, yeah. I'm jealous. I wish Yeah, I'm just a little. I'm just shy older than you. Yeah.
You're not
Way,
old.
way.
You're just more
No,
mature and wiser than a lot of people.
but boy, he's got some great stuff going on. Yeah, Sty Nation.
Absolutely, NBA. Sty has his own like family nation on here. Like we're all his family group. Like everyone he talks to is like we're not just. This is what I say on my channel too. We're not just friends, subscribers. We're family. Once you connect with people and you talk to them, get to know
Yeah.
them, and you frequent them on a basis where you're seeing them all the time, you're more family than just friends.
Um, the Gemma, you hit that nail right on the head because my YouTube community man, they've gotten me through some really tough trials over the last 6 years. I tell you,
Oh
the
yes.
having you folks to come to really, really makes my day. And I kid nobody. Once I get to know you over there in the chat or on my panels, I think about all of you. Your names pop up in my head constantly throughout the day.
Mhm.
When I was in camp last summer and I couldn't have access very often, once a week, I was, man, thinking about you guys all week. And I was just jonesing for that Wednesday to get home and do my Wednesday night live stream to see you folks. Because that interaction and all of that becomes so important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it becomes routine because like when you're talking to people and you connect with them, you don't just connect to them because of their content on the message. It's you connect to them because you build up trust, you build up a relationship, and once you connect with someone, then that's that's how you bond with people. And I've learned to bond with a lot of people over the years that I've
Yeah.
been on here. Love
Yeah.
you too, NBA. You're another great person who
Yeah.
supported me for a long
NBA
time.
is awesome, man. I love him.
He's a great
He's
person.
awesome. Awesome brother. Yeah. The one of my all-time favorite songs is In Color. And when he's doing his sad song Sundays and I'm able to be on there so where I can chat and stuff, all I have to
Yeah.
do is say, hey, can you fit that one in for me? He always has fit that song in for me. And um, he's just so awesome. just so
He
I would
is.
love
He's a
to
good
be.
guy.
I'd love to sit around the camper. I can't drink shine like I used to, but I tell you what, I'd love to sit around the campfire and prove that sipping liquor, yeah, you can drink that no matter what shape you're in if you're just sipping. The others can be drinking, I'll sip. But I'd love it. I would love it around the campfire with that man.
NBA, you should be on there because you are a great guy. Like, you know, you've been supporting a lot of people over the years. NBA, you support me, and you're
Yeah,
very active with a lot of people. You are a great guy.
yeah, and I tell a lot of people that, and I definitely, Roland, you're one of them. That you should be damn proud of yourself because you've made a lot of people's lives that much happier. You know, if that's all you, that's all a person can ever expect out of life is to know that you made somebody else's day. You know, and because I look at it this way: if I make your day today, I'm 3 good days ahead. You know, I
Yeah,
it makes me feel good for 3 days, making you feel good for one. You know, it's 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 just good people like to make other people happy and
yeah, exactly.
like them to be happy. Um, it's it's tough for me because when I see somebody that's down and out and they're going through misery and that, yeah, I've been down my own miserable road, but when I see somebody else going through stuff, it just eats at me. It just, yeah, I can feel it. You know, I get sympathy pains for people.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be physical. They can be going through a relationship problem or they have emotional issues or mental health issues. It doesn't matter. I feel it. And I just, I want to see them smile, because I know they're struggling,
Yeah,
Apple
you make a
moonshine,
lot of
West
people
Virginia.
smile, Sty. Like
Apple cigar.
you've been there when I've had some of my struggles. Like you've seen when I've had epic fail meltdowns on my streams, and when I've lost my temper, and people are like, "Whoa, what the hell's wrong with Gemma? She was fine earlier. Now all of a sudden Gemma's like, kaboom,
Uh-huh.
exploding," and you're like, "She's all right. She's fine. Let her be, and let her
Yeah.
calm down." And then some people are like, "Huh? What?"
What?
And then it's like I can go from being happy and calm and content like I am now, and then
Yeah.
something little would trigger me, and then kaboom!
Right. Then
Just
the
lose it.
frustration and anxiety and everything piles up and yeah, and it's just I always say, hey, give her a little room. Just, she she'll be the good old Gemmer and just give her
Yeah,
let
yeah.
her yeah, let her get it out. God dang it. She
I
ain't
try
hurting
to
you.
calm more than I used to, but I think part of it is when before I didn't know what my don't want to say my temper level was, but I didn't realize how irate I was getting on some of my streams. And I look back at it, I'm like, oh boy, Jerry, you probably should have cut that off way before now. I'm like, oopsie.
the yeah, Dean, the best shine I've ever had, and I wish it was even possible. It's not even possible. But I wish I had me a big old jug of that to give to Roland so that he could try her out. That was some of the smoothest freaking shine I've ever drank. And I've had a lot of shine. And it was made by an old feller. His name was Homer T. Davis. Um, running water. Homer T. and his boy Billy Joe were from South Carolina, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a South Carolina. And his family, they were a long line of shiners down there, and they kept it pretty secret though. But they lived out in Montana when we lived out there, and old Homer T set himself up a still out in the back country, and he runs some of the best double twisted shine you ever drank. That stuff was sweet and clear, and oh my God, and the stuff would knock your socks off if you got a little carried away, but
Yeah.
some of the purest shine I ever drank. and so smooth going down, man. I could take big old gulps of it, swallow it down, and just, oh man, it went down so good. And yeah, she's pretty high proof. Yeah, yeah, you could run your car on that shit. I'd run it my dragster, the the but boy, that was some sweet shine. And my boy running water, he was only about 9 years old at the time,
Yeah.
and he tagged along with Homer T all the time. And it wasn't until after about a month or so of him hanging out with Homer T that I found out that usually on their little outings, they go roaming around out in the backcountry and stuff and go looking for animals and shit.
Yeah.
But I found out that most of their trips, included a stop at the still. And here he's helping Homer T do his whiskey runs, so that was kind of funny. My ex-wife didn't like that. She said, that old guy's got our kid working the still with him. We can't be having that. And I said, oh, leave him alone. Leave him alone. He ain't letting the kid drink this stuff. He's helping the kid help him make this stuff. So come on, leave him alone. and yeah, running water that was a good life's experience for running water, to be buddies with old Homer T. Homer T was a goofball, but boy, he could make some shine.
Fun.
He could make some shine. And his son, Billy Joe Davis, owned a place called the Halfway House, and it was a bar and little grocery store out in the middle. They called it the Halfway House because it was halfway between one major highway and another major highway in Montana. And it's about 60 miles between those two highways. And they were halfway, 30 miles in either direction. And right on a lake called Bull Lake. And it was a neat location. We had a trailer house that we put in. He had a half a dozen trailer house slots there at the bar, and we got our trailer house stuck in there and lived there for quite a while. And they had every year they had what they called the Halfway House Rendezvous, and they'd have bands from all over the place come there. They had this big outdoor stage. It was all fenced in. They had a big open pit barbecue, huge open pit barbecue. And it was a 4-day weekend. And it went from Friday morning until Monday afternoon. And we had a big group of bikers that would show up. I found out they were all chips. They're all California highway patrolmen, motorcycle cops, and they'd show up on their custom bikes,
Yeah.
And they're all decked out like hardcore Hell's Angels, and and all those cops did for those 4 days, well, for 3 of the 4, is drink Homer T's moonshine. And
nice.
And they never had to have bouncers or anything, because there was about 30 of those cops that would show up. It was a group of 30, and they did all the policing, man. They were brutes. Every one of them were big guys and big brutes. And there'd be a fight once in a while. Oh no, one of them cops would get right in the middle of it, put an end to it right then and there. It was pretty cool. Yeah, those were the days. Hey, that is funny. Rollins said, I'm here working and lurking, cleaning up the kitchen. Yeah, after this stream, I'm going to go have myself some barbecue chicken wings and mashed taters and gravy. That's my late lunch, early supper combined. All of it together is what I'm going to be eating. It's almost 1,000 calories. So I can't. Yeah, and it's that time, folks. It's we're 2 hours in. I gotta wrap it up. That's what I hate is this whole eating routine I gotta have, where I really can't go beyond 2 hours without messing up my routine.
Yeah.
The I hate to ask people to be understanding when it comes
No,
to that.
I totally understand that. It's important that you go and eat and get.
It'll get better. It'll get better. Yeah, and Matt J is saying, God bless everyone. Me Dibble
There will
says
be a
I
live
need
stream
to
coming up
today.
from me in three weeks. Tuesday, it's my birthday party stream. I'm going to be 34
Oh,
years old, so everyone's
cool.
welcome to
I'll I'll watch.
party on my
I'll watch
stream.
for it. You bet. Hey, everybody, watch for that. You
I'll
betcha.
be putting out an announcement on my community tab about it in the next week or so, but it'll be on my birthday and it'll probably be around 11 p.m. British time, which will be
Sure.
6 Eastern, 5 Central, 2
Yeah.
o'clock West Coast.
Yeah. Good timing. Wow. Yeah.
So that'll be
Sweet.
my 34th birthday party.
Yeah. We'll watch. We'll watch. That girl, by the way, folks, is almost half my age.
And I do
A
have
little
video
more than
coming out
half, but not
tomorrow
much.
as well. There'll be a video coming out tomorrow about a UK footballer who was recently charged with attacking a autistic teenager, which will be
Oh,
getting
yeah.
uploaded to my channel tomorrow. So that'll
Okay.
be going out
Yeah.
tomorrow around
That'll be a good one
lunchtime.
to watch.
So
That'll
that'll be
be-
up tomorrow for you guys to watch.
You betcha. Thank you. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I'll see you all next Sunday.
Thank you for
Without-
having
without
me.
fail.
Good to see everyone in the chat.
Show up with bells on and we'll have ourselves a good chat next Sunday. And thank you, sweetheart, for coming up and being
Thank
with
you for
me.
having me. Love you, Uncle.
You betcha. Love you too, girl. And we'll see you all next Sunday. Have a good
Bye.
week. Bye-bye.